we got to reconnect here. There we go. Good morning. Welcome to the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. So as you guys know, we've been going over the book Winning with People by John Maxwell. So before we get started, we are going to tag some people in this video. All right, so we're going over the connection principle today. So the true test of relationships is not only by how loyal we are when our friends fail, but how thrilled we are when they also succeed. Good morning, Debbie. How are you? Have you guys had your workout yet? Yeah, we worked out last night. We actually got to go at night again, so that's nice. So that way we're not taking up time during productive hours. So yeah, it was awesome, and I am sore. But it's a good sore. I like it. So average people do not want others to go beyond average. And you want to ask yourself, do I enjoy and root for the success of my friends? And what John learned about the celebration principle is the joy of accomplishment is diminished when no one celebrates with you. So you kind of got to look at your friends and see who's really on your side, because anybody can be sympathetic when something's wrong or if you fail, but it takes a different type of person when you succeed. So I did say that. I remembered that right at the top of my head. I didn't even need my notes for that part. So never let others lack enthusiasm hinder our own, and it also become determined to celebrate with friends and when they succeed, and be more enthusiastic when they surpass you. The next one, many people identify with failure, but few people identify with success. You'll hear, like we've talked about in other principles, where the people around you, where we talked about the naysayers and the haters. The naysayers are like, oh, well, I don't really want you to go do this because I don't know anything about this, and I'm worried for you. And the haters are like, well, I just don't like it because you're achieving and I'm not. And that's more of an issue with them. So you kind of got to watch who you're around. So you may be able to impress people with your successes, but if you want to influence them, share your failures. But everybody has failed, so it's a great way to connect. The problem is that because people are so ready to identify with failure, that they sometimes have a hard time connecting with success. And if they don't identify with success, they may resent it. So what hinders people from success often keeps them from celebrating others' success. So a lot of times qualities that hide us, that hold us back from success, are also the things that are preventing us from celebrating other people's successes. So 3 things that do this is emotional insecurity, scarcity mindset, and petty jealousy. So as a result, you're going to have a hard time getting behind others and having others getting behind you when you're dealing with this. My friends didn't believe that I had hold on a second. Okay. my friends didn't believe that I could become a successful speaker. So I did something about it and went and found myself some new friends. And that was by Joe Larson. And unfortunately, sometimes that is the case. If you don't have people in your corner that are going to help you, not only in the bad times, but also celebrate you when you're in good times, you need to find yourself some new friends, because these are also the people that you're not going to want to share your successes with them. I have a couple people in my family that anytime I did well, I couldn't share it with them because, one, they didn't understand, but two, they also were in that mindset that anybody who is doing well, or they think wealthy people are evil people. So anytime I started succeeding in my career, I couldn't share that with them because I felt almost evil in a way, but not because of what I'm doing. What I'm doing is positive, but they made me feel bad sharing it with them because they didn't understand, and they made me feel bad because I was doing good. And they would verbally tell me, they're like, well, you're just getting too full of yourself. When I bought my first car and I got a Mercedes, they're like, what are you doing with that car? That's a rich man's car. You don't need a car like that. And it just wasn't a good feeling. So I started distancing myself from those people. I don't talk to them as much. They are family, but I love them from a distance. Ooh, excuse me. Lovely allergy season. Got all this drainage again. Anywho, but yeah, sometimes you have to distance yourself from those people just so that way you could get into a state of mind to be able to help other people. So, people celebrate with you become lifelong friends. It's always good to have friends, and you end up finding these people as you go on your journey. When I first started, I did not have these people in my corner. I had a few of my friends who, no matter what I did, they would always be there, but they just didn't get it. And sometimes you have to go find those people that are in your realm of work that are going to understand it, and they're going to be able to root you on so much more. Because we promoted twice in this is a generic show, so I won't say our company, but we promoted twice in our company, not last month, but the month before. And I told my stepdad, and I'm like, woo, we got promoted twice in our company last month. And he's like, that's great. I still don't know what you guys do. I've told him multiple times what we do, but we also do so many other things. He doesn't understand, so he's like, oh, okay. So he'll always be positive about it. He's like, I will cheer you on even though I have no idea what's going on. And that's just who my stepdad is. But I also have people who work with us who would root us on too, and we were so thankful that we had people on our team that were able to support us through that, because it really wasn't us, it was more the team that helped us get there. So it was great, and we have those awesome people. And you got to find those people that you work with in MLM. Just get with the people who you want to work with, and those people are your biggest cheerleaders. Like, if you're working with your leadership, those are the people that should be your biggest cheerleaders. So beware of the green-eyed monster. Celebration is how you defeat jealousy. So if you begin to feel jealousy, start complimenting the person, and the jealous feeling will actually go away. It is really hard to feel jealousy when you keep complimenting somebody, and it's keeping your mind on the positive rather than on the negative. But also, if you start feeling jealousy, like what John talked about in previous chapters, if you feel jealousy, you have to look at yourself and say, why do I feel jealous? Is it because this person is a bad person, or is the issue really with me? If the issue's with me, why is it that way? Is it something that are they doing something I'm not doing? Therefore, that's why I'm upset. You got to ask yourself that. So, becoming a party starter. That's what I pretty much have for the chapter today. You really want to just get with the people in your company, or maybe outside your company, that are going to be able to celebrate with you and push you to a different level where you're going to be able to succeed, because you need those positive influences in your life. And it really helps when these people are in the same industry as you, because they understand. And because they understand, it makes it all the more special. But even outside too, there are some people where they still get it, like my stepdad, and he's awesome when it comes to this. So Jeff, I'm going to turn this part over to you. Do you want my notes or are you bringing yours?
I'm good.
Okay.
So I think the chapter boils down to, again, this comes down to self-esteem. You'll find that most of the chapters and most of what John talks about in winning with people has a lot to do with the internal, meaning it has to do with you. You have to fix you before all this other stuff works out. So what I try to do, because I did not grow up in a family community around a group of people who were supportive. I was not around a group of people who celebrated anything. It was always negative. In most cases, it was always pointing fingers. In most cases, it was always excuses. In most cases, it wasn't celebrated. Nancy's here. Hello, hello. So because of that, the mindset was always figure out what's wrong. Figure out, almost like the negative motive. Well, the only reason they did that was to do this. So when I heard of the concept of celebrating other people's success, I was like, I didn't really get it, if that makes sense. So I just sat and did nothing. I said nothing, Everybody would stand up and clap when people went across stage. I was like, big deal, who cares? And what I didn't realize is, it was just a reflection on me, not a reflection on them. It showed how little I was connected to others, and how little I cared about what was going on in the greater good. And that's typically what you see. Facebook is absolutely filled with people who have low self-esteem. Things that they wouldn't say to other people. They're gonna, puff up and be like, well, this is how I feel, and this is this, and this is that. And, the people I find who spend the most time arguing with people online usually have the lowest self-esteem. People who have good self-esteem don't need to argue any of that. They typically are trying to either increase what they're doing, they're trying to better themselves and better other people. So the concept starts, and Brandy talked about this, is, starting out by complimenting, hey, congratulations. And it really doesn't matter what it is. You're going to go through different things in your business. The first thing is you'll have people who don't get in. And I have people who don't get in, but I'm connected to them online. And what I see most people do is, they kind of, what Brandy said, they'll hate and or, not congratulate, not compliment, which just, again, is a reflection on you and low self-esteem. So I started, years ago when I started figuring this out, and Facebook's really kind of can be a platform, really easy to use for this, is just start complimenting them. Hey, great job. People reach out all the time and talk to me about other companies. And I'm like, congratulations for joining. I'm glad that you joined. If there's something I can help, refer you to, great. I'm fine where I'm at. I had a person that just belligerently kept coming at me. And funny enough, he was also in our company, but selling another company. So he was kind of using our company as the platform, signed up to get into the group to try to transfer people. And he said, I can't remember what his last, well, you just don't get what I'm doing and this and that. I said, no, I think I'm really clear in who you are and what you're doing. It's unfortunate. But I said, look, congratulations, keep me updated with your success. I'm sure you'll do well at whatever you put your mind to. And I learned some of this from the bigger people in the industry, is celebrate everybody. Your friendship, my friendship, doesn't stop where the income comes in. Meaning my friendship is not determined on what company you're in. My friendship isn't determined by how much money you make. But it is determined by how you treat people and what you do. If you're hurting people, that's not somebody I want to associate with. So that's just kind of my viewpoint on this chapter from John. And the book just points out so many things that I personally needed to work on. And again, this is a reflection of How to Win Friends and Influence People. John had read that many times and said, hey, I want to create kind of my own version from what vantage point that I see. How to Win Friends and Influence People is just for across the board. John wrote this book for if you want to lead, here's basically how to win friends and influence people and teach others to do the same. So that's what I got.
All right, wonderful. So if you guys would like our notes, we take notes on each chapter, and we are going to send those to you if you would like them. I'm going to put a link in the comments below so you could go subscribe to that. Also, go follow us on YouTube when you search MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. Goodness, I almost forgot what show we were on. Woo! So you could go follow us there, so that way if you'd like to go back to some previous videos of some books that we went over or rewatch this one, you can do that. So with that, we are going to see you tomorrow.